And then definitely we'll have to make sure people can hear your guys's. I got the audio turned up quite a bit, but I didn't memorize the exact spot when I used it last time. So we'll have to have the live chat help us out. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Juices Loose podcast. The new look Juices Loose podcast. This is phase 1 of testing since Hangouts Live is disappearing in August. Yeah. Well, I want to figure out how everything kind of looks on the screen, and then make a layout. What do you call, like I did for my other one, where you just create a PNG file with, so it has like, you can have specifics like bordered things, and then put whatever in it you want. So make it look nicer. I just use paint.net. That's how I did my other one. But no, it's just paint.net. It was a free to use a clone of Photoshop with very limited stuff, but it was a user created with a lot of add-ons, and then now it's pay to use it. It's an official app now on the Microsoft Store. So what we need to do is we need to have the live chat. Tell me how everybody's audio is. Last time I did this, I don't remember exactly where I had the volume level in OBS. So we'll just have Ms. T talk, and then in the chat, if you can just tell us how the audio sounds, appreciate it. What's up, T? What was that? Oh, okay. All right, so see 3 people in the chat. Can you just let me know real quick if how that audio was? Can't hear him. Oh, I know why. Yeah, because I see it's not moving the desktop audio in OBS. Hey, this is a trial. That's what I said. Phase 1. Yeah, I can see in the desktop. Audio on OBS. It's not moving. So I'm gonna stop this real quick. Everyone didn't see the little level meter going up and down as you guys were talking.
I know, because there's levels to this shit. Come on, man.
No one's hearing any of your jokes, by the way. We were off air. Now we're back. All right.
Yeah, but can they hear this now?
They can. I just don't know how loud it is. So
I love you, Jamie.
Oh, you bastard, T.
all right, how's the level for everybody compared to mine?
Look at this grown man playing with dolls.
It's my birthday card, man.
Can
they hear this now? I mean,
they can hear you. I just don't know how loud.
Donix and Lenny Wright. I've never liked those guys.
Level
can
is
they hear
fine,
this?
Donix. Level
Okay.
is fine.
Oh, they can hear this. Oh shit! Sorry, Don. Sorry, Lenny. I was only playing.
You're going to jail, fucker.
So I got to open OBS after the little Hangouts window's open. That's what I need to do next time. So yeah, appreciate that.
Oh yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't mess with it once you start it.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to do it before. I could have told you that. I've had that problem.
I could have told you that. No, I didn't.
Yeah, because I didn't know what he was doing. But thank you for your interpretation.
Just like, I'm gonna test this out. Are you gonna tell anybody? Nah, we're just gonna turn it on.
All right, so we're
now
live.
What are we on? We're on Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
Iron Man 1.
So as I was trying to say, have an official layout going on, and have it look not just my default desktop wallpaper and stuff, but I got the screen or the chat like half the screen, and yeah, so let's just get going. I want to start out by directing everybody to the link in the description and on Twitter. There's a link to a Discord, Juices Loose community. So I got it up on my screen. it's gonna bring you automatically into the Mario Maker 2 channel. I don't know why it just automatically takes you to the top one. I guess.
Did you make the invite in the Mario Maker 2
No,
channel?
no.
Okay.
There's no way to. I just put it, invite people, and it just throws them in the Mario Maker 2's on the top. So I think that's why it does it. So yeah, we got Mario Maker 2. It's a place. This was a request from a user, Roy, on Twitter.
Roy's our boy.
Because he's like a lot of people was noticing levels weren't getting not a lot of play, just uploading them. So he thought it'd be a cool idea to, and I agreed, for a place for people to share their codes. And once we get a good amount of people in the community, then I think it'll really help that. There's a Smash Ultimate tab for if guys want to do, set up a Smash night or something. General conversation.
You nasty bastard.
But the most important one is questions for the podcast. That was the other
I
thing.
love the Rocket League one, yeah.
Rocket League is for me and Cray at this point. No one else is.
I'm down. I'm
But yeah.
Rocket League.
Oh,
So if you
God.
want to play Rocket League, there I have a general use voice chat and a private chat for the Juices Loose crew.
I thought those were for subscribers only.
No. So when we got to switch maybe to Discord, then that's what we'll use.
But
But
not
yeah,
today.
so check it out. If you got Discord, obviously know how to use it. If you don't, it's a little bit like at first it felt so alien to me. I didn't like it, but now I'm kind of getting used to it. And I think it's a pretty cool thing. So, and we can add more games, different categories. People have
Yeah,
suggestions.
it's a generational game. You got to give them some time, guys.
Still
Mhm.
semi weird to me still, but
Yeah, it's I'm getting the hang of it, and finally. It just felt so weird at first, but so yeah, join the community, click the questions for the podcast, post questions there. I got a PC Master Race. Alex was in there. AMD's got new processors, new graphics cards, and all this. So that I wanted to have
Fucking
a spot
nerds.
for people.
exciting.
So yeah, it's a good one for people that like that, to keep it separate from like the general. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I didn't really even know you could do all this until I got the request and gave it a shot. So jump on that, and I think, let's see, who's a couple people from the Juices Loose crew. I think everybody's in here.
You didn't give us mod abilities. This is fucked up, man.
I gave some. See, I'm not that good at it yet.
Wow.
I don't even see that option.
I don't know how to do that shit either.
You didn't even call me a mod, man.
I think I gave some different permissions.
Don't ban me on stream, yo.
So
I don't know how to do that shit on YouTube. Shit.
On YouTube it's annoying because you gotta go in your settings and shit to do all that crap.
You gotta go in your settings to change settings? That's bullshit.
No.
how dare they?
You gotta go in your settings to add mods.
I
Well, you
still
can
call
just do it right in the
settings
live
problem.
chat.
Welcome to the Juices Loose Podcast 250, the special podcast where you can watch us adjust Discord settings.
Because for some
This
reason,
is
Juice
Yo, we should have
thought this was the time to
This
do
is an
this.
experiment.
phase one, the Incredible
How is
Hulk.
this an experiment?
Incredible Hulk, yeah, just let
This
the
is
download
phase one, the
should've
Incredible
been-
Hulk. We got a different
should've-
Incredible Hulk right now. We'll change him later.
Oh god.
Yeah, right now Bruce Banner's being
Is
played
he
by
the
Eric
red Hulk or
Bana.
the green Hulk?
Yeah, right now Bruce Banner is played by God damn,
Jennifer Lawrence.
Ed,
It's the She-Hulk. It's not the
played
real
by
Hulk.
Shia LaBeouf. And
He's out here plagiarizing and shit.
so we just had
Think of-
someone join. So appreciate that. And like I said, it's different channels for you. They're self-explanatory. Just check them out. For whatever reason, throws everybody in the Mario Maker one off the start. So, but yeah, talk some video games now. You guys ready?
Nah.
I mean, we were ready to begin with. You're the one who lied to us and tell us what we were doing.
Hey,
You should recap
I like,
the history
being
of the
spontaneous.
Juices Loose.
Hey, we're not doing that. Just take a
do
while.
that shit on your own time.
Yeah, you better go read a motherfucking book. You're not here.
It's 250, goddamn.
I'm looking for my 350. All right, fuck that 250.
shout out to Clocked It too for last week. You posted your link to your video, and I had no idea it was your video. I thought someone just because it didn't say it, just said the the
He didn't even
thumbnail.
click the
It
link.
shows the thumbnail. And I'm like, oh, that's a cool idea.
Wow.
So I
unforgiving
clicked on it,
savage.
just thinking it was somebody shared somebody else. And I was like, oh, Clocked It made this video. I was like, that was cool. It was top 5 backflips.
Cause YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea that was your video. I think you shared it in the group chat on
Man,
Hangouts.
blank.
And I was like, oh, yeah, that's a cool topic. And I thought maybe it was like IGN or something. It was fucking Clocked It. So definitely check that out.
What?
We try to diversify up in here, man. That's what we're trying to do.
Glock doesn't just do that deep bullshit. He just instantly shadow drops links everywhere.
What?
And it was
Something like algorithm
an
timing is
original
We all
idea.
cut off.
I don't do that shit.
And you actually had to like find and capture footage of the backflip. So shout out to you. That was a cool video.
That took a long
bet.
motherfucking time, man, to record that shizzle.
And Ms. T, he's got a video out about why we hate EA. Very in depth. Very excellent points.
Two-part video. I freaking loved it, man. That got me through two days of washing the dishes, and I was washing it with a smile. Now, I've never washed a dish with a smile before, but I was washing it with a smile this time.
Well, thanks.
You
Anybody
know,
else?
side note, Juice, you could just have it on the questions of the podcast one instead of that Mario Maker 2 one.
I know. No one's asked a question yet.
No, you put it on there on the stream so people stop typing in Mario Maker.
They
to get
can't. As soon as they join, like I said, it defaults to the Mario Maker. They have to click the other option. It's nothing
Yeah,
on
but I'm
mine.
saying, no, but they're doing the whole thing like, oh, we're on stream or on TV because you're in the Mario Maker.
No, that's what
2.
the live chat's for. He's in the live chat. I get what you're saying.
Okay, all right, I'm just making sure. All right.
I don't think that's what he's doing because he's already in the live chat. So, other shout out to Robert. Got to give you a shout out for your live streams. Very entertaining. Did you do a full playthrough of
Of the Sea of Solitude?
Yeah.
It's almost, I played most of it, and I got off, and then I played an hour more. I'm like, oh shit, I'm done with the game.
You got off, huh?
Yeah, he got off. It must have been real good.
Yeah, I saw some of it, and yeah, it's very, in many ways, it's very similar to Rhyme.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because at least for this one, because I kind of feel like I was comparing it to like Journey, Firewatch. That kind of. It's a walking simulator, but it was entertaining for what it was. It was for the most part. I feel like, I enjoy what I like, but I wouldn't say I would recommend it to everybody because like. It's supposed to be a pretty impactful story. I don't feel like it's nearly as impactful as I think it thinks it is to me. But I do appreciate the message it's doing. I just don't love its writing for me. And it's all about the writing for this game. So I wasn't totally in love.
I would say the same thing for Rhyme as well. Rhyme doesn't really hit you until like the last level or so. I pretty much figured out what was going on pretty early on, so that kind of killed it. So I don't know if that game is similar, but I watched you on the part where you were like in the water and that freaking fish thing kept munching you up.
That was fun. That was more fun because it was more gamey,
Yeah. It's very similar to a creature in Rhyme where it's a bird though.
Okay.
If you go out and you're not in the shadows, it'll snatch you up. Kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it was okay. I mean I feel like it's a short game, $20. I wasn't expecting anything beefy game, but I did think it was gonna impact me more.
It looked really cool in that first trailer.
Oh yeah, well I mean, dude, the art style's incredible. I love the way it looks.
Great.
I love the way it looks for sure. It's just I just don't think they kind of really like shove it in your face that this is about depression.
Yeah.
That's how you fix depression.
And I know it is, but I feel like they could have been more,
Subtle.
It's an artistic subtle thing because it's a more artistic game, and I feel like it would be more artsy the way they do it, but it's just like one of the first sentences, "You're a fucking worthless piece of shit." And I'm like, whoa, okay. I guess I'm a piece of shit. They'd be a lot more subtle, but it's like they just.
I don't want to play your game anymore, calling you.
But they just say it straight to your face that you are a piece of shit. And they're like, whoa, all right. Oh, that's how we're doing it. And,
I love this game.
it was okay. I didn't think I had a bad time. I enjoyed it, especially for the stream. It was a chill stream. I was just talking on the chat and
Yeah, I feel
just
like
going through.
your Mario Maker 2 stream had a pretty good turnout.
Yeah, surprisingly, yeah. And it was the second one had like a good amount of people where I couldn't play everyone's level. I'm like, I was a little overwhelmed, dude. I didn't know. But that's Mario Maker, it's the number one game out right now. So
I
it's
wonder
like,
how. I haven't seen any sales numbers. I don't think they have any, but
The only
Just
thing I
curious.
thought was that
Oh,
it
they
sold
had
through
I've heard
55%.
somebody-
All
What?
right, go ahead.
one at a time.
They have Japanese sales. What I was gonna say.
I was just gonna say I've heard people say that it already outsold the original by like 3 times as much or some shit like that. I don't know where it came from, but I just
That
heard
couldn't
it.
have been Lifetime because the first one was over 5 million, so or 4 or 5.
Oh,
I heard that. I think the first one. I think I got first week numbers, and it was like first week was like 185,000 or something like that, and the Wii U, well, for Mario Maker 1 was like 120,000. So it wasn't like crazy over, but it was still over.
That
But,
in Japan.
but we're talking about way different. Yeah, I think it was Japan or
yeah.
Japan only at the time.
Japan said like it was like 55% of its shipment is what Mario Maker 2 did, but it wasn't like it didn't give like heavy specific.
I don't like those shit. That shipment means trying to hide something.
Mhm.
That
You had some
shipment-
hot shit, man.
And I wonder though if how many people are going to take advantage of the little digital promotion they have where you get 2 games for 100.
Oh, I took advantage of that yesterday.
I should have.
you
I
get?
bought the game digitally, but I went through Best Buy. I forgot about that promotion.
wow,
I
sucks.
can't do digital. You can keep
I did
that.
it for Marvel
Yeah.
Ultimate Alliance and Dragon Quest are the 2 games I'm going for.
Wait, what? Wait, what do you do in Dragon Quest 11 or Builders 2?
No, Dragon Quest 11.
Oh, I didn't know those were available on that. That's cool.
In Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah, it's
already
basically a voucher
preloaded.
for any game. It doesn't. If it's on the Switch, I think it's any full price game.
Oh, that was selected. Oh,
It just
Or-
makes sense. It just makes sense to do it with $60 games because
Those
then
games
it's not
are
really a
$10
deal.
anyway if
Yeah.
they're digital. So fuck those guys. Like,
you always want to fuck something. T. What's going on, man?
hey, I'm a
Do
man.
we need, do
you
we need
guys
to
like
talk?
that pisses me off because it's like
You always want to piss on something too. What's
guys
going
are-
on?
Okay, Terrell. Not every phrase has to be turned into a joke. Let's go.
I'll do it anyway. Goddamn it.
like the damn hands. Yeah, but it's like we went over this. I'm sure 1,000 times already, but it's like, yo, you're charging $60 for a game, the physical game in a case, and you gotta ship it, you gotta pay for distribution, you gotta pay for shelf space, and you're charging $60 for that. And for the game you don't gotta do any of that for, it's still $60. Fuck you. Like that's not how it should be. And Stadia is even worse because you gotta buy a game and then you gotta rely on their service. You gotta pay for their service after you bought the game to play it. So that's just insane. It's insane. I didn't know they were gonna do that. That's just nuts.
I didn't get. I think I didn't watch the E3 stuff, and that was a question I had, and I didn't really look into it because I just don't care that much about Stadia, so I didn't really look into it. But it's like, so you have to buy the game, or if you choose to buy a game, I don't know if you want to play it in 4K. Does buying it automatically guarantee the 4K, or you still got to pay the
No, I think
$15?
you still have to have that service.
No, you still have to pay the
still have to have the-
subscription.
So if you stop paying the subscription,
gives you 4K.
then the game you bought, you can only play it
It's
at
no
what?
longer in 4K. Bye bye. It's 4K.
That's so weird.
That seems weird to me. Like,
I don't
Yeah.
think they confirmed that the games would be full price at E3 though, did they? That was
They didn't
afterwards.
really
That was
Yeah.
afterwards.
No,
yeah.
that was afterwards.
Well, I figured it was gonna be full price. I didn't think it was gonna be cheaper. I don't know.
Because most people assumed it was going to be like a streaming service because the tech is kind of streaming, but they never actually said
It is a
that's how
streaming.
you acquire the game.
Hold on. It is a streaming service, but you have the option to quote unquote buy games if you want.
No, that's what I said. No, but people assume it's a streaming service where you pay to stream games, but it is a streaming service, But you stream the game play. You have to buy the game just to allow that.
It's a streaming platform, we'll
And
see, you know?
and there are games where you don't like you don't have to buy to play a game. You don't have to pay the price of the game. If I'm not mistaken, there will be games.
They have a service, so they have a certain amount of games. Now, there's a game that's not in their service. I think that's a thing you can buy that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where it comes in. You buy the game that's not a part of their streaming service games. Xbox. What's it called?
Game Pass.
Game Pass, right? So like Xbox Game Pass, they have a certain amount of games on there. They don't have all the new games that come out all the time, right? So if you want to play that, you can buy that game and play it on Google Stadia, but you have to buy that game. You can't.
Well, I think you could purchase the games that are on their own paid monthly service.
Yeah, you can do that too. But I'm just saying, why would you even do that?
Well, I think it's mainly if you really didn't want to pay for that. Was it $5 a month, $10 a month? I don't know. But like, regardless, I think you could just technically, go and just buy a game at a time, and like, just have it where you don't have to pay $300,
$500. You have to pay monthly because you need their service. You got to pay for that service, the streaming service. It's not just you can't just buy a game and start playing it.
Well, there's a free version, I think, that you can play.
Is just buying the game and then you play it.
Yeah,
there's
and
no
I think
console. That's the whole thing.
The fee is for 4K. And
it's confusing as hell.
It is confusing. That's what.
Well, there's two different things. The one thing is basically that's why they're saying no console. You could just buy a game and it's automatically on Stadia, and you just you can buy it anywhere. But then the whole thing is that it gets a little confusing, I guess. But like the whole thing is that the monthly service is selection of games, or as it looks like, what it sounds like right now is just Destiny 2 is what it sounds like right now, and what else, 4K and stuff. So basically you're only paying for 4K in my opinion. And one day I was saying in tweets and stuff that one day people that will be paying monthly is going to pay more than a fucking PC a whole console generation. And I think it's so weird and bizarre. Like, you're going to pay all that for what, 4K? Really? Or maybe some games that you may like that doesn't even make sense. Like, what's the incentive to do that? When the whole thing is no console
to do that. It's like I said, why I felt like it was still going to be a service that still worked. The incentive to do that is you don't have to have shit all up in your house. A lot of people just don't want it. They don't want
exactly. That's why you would just buy the game individually. You wouldn't actually buy it through. You wouldn't purchase the service, because to me, by the end of console generation, you're gonna pay more than a console to play just in 4K alone, and I think that's so weird.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But if you do that, you don't get the all the games that their service provides or whatever. You only get
the game you want.
Right.
But I think
if you pay $10 a month for 4 years, that's what is it, for
like almost
480
$6 or some shit.
120, yeah, 480.
Yeah, but here's the thing, guys. I know people bring that up, and that's right. That in the long run, that makes sense. But what if that was the case? There would be no Rent-A-Center. Like like that. People.
But they're trying to sell it as you don't have to buy a console.
Over dropping 500 plus texts right at one time.
Mm-hmm.
For a lot of people, that works better for them.
So and at the end of it,
mobile phones, don't we? Which is why we
exactly
mobile phones straight up and get a contract.
And at the end of it,
people have an iPhone if you had to pay $700-$800 right there. Not a lot of people.
And you don't have to when, let's say, games start getting more advanced with the next gen. Google's got to upgrade their equipment. Like they might at some point raise the price, just like everything. Netflix went up, everything goes up, but you're not like, oh shit, I want to play 4K 120 or whatever. Oh, I got to go buy, the pro version of the PS5 Pro or something. You keep paying the service, and hopefully they're pretty on the spot with updating, making sure. But even then, the best. Here, I'll put this on screen. So free resolution up to 1080p, stereo sound, buy games whenever you want. Additional free games released, no. The $10 Pro gives you 5.1 surround 4K, and you get additional free games released regularly. So that's going to be like the Xbox Live
And the PS Plus
free games, the PS Plus free games. So you got to pay to even. I mean, I get it. It costs them more to do the 4K and 5.1 surround sounds, more bandwidth and stuff. So you don't want to just have that out there for free. But still, it's like.
But I do think I still think it's a cool thing that, like, if someone is like, hey, I don't want to buy a console to play this new NBA, someone could just pick up NBA for $60 on their whatever, anything, and just start playing it right away without buying a console. I think it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's why I said there is going to be an appeal for this. That's much as we don't like certain things about it. There's going to be an audience that this works for. So.
Definitely. Not me, unless they get their, like, honestly, like, again, if they're the studios that they're actually making exclusive games for, and if they're solid, I'll pick them up.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna come down for me. Is like they start.
I think they mentioned controllers as well. I can't remember if just the Google Stadia controller works.
No, you can use a lot of different controllers for it.
Use anything.
You don't have to buy. Yeah, you don't have to buy the controller.
Okay,
I was gonna just use probably my Xbox One controller. Plug it in PC, boom, you're good. And so that would be cool. Like that, I don't mind. Like I'm waiting for them to actually reveal more games. Like I thought that was the whole E3 thing. Is like they were gonna be like, we're pushing games, but it's just games that are already like out, and then they were announced like 2 new games, and it was just like, oh boy, never mind. I thought they were gonna announce some exclusive shit, but there wasn't really anything groundbreaking.
They're going to be like, just like with Game Pass for this month or whatever, we're announcing the addition of Lego City Undercover, and then you got people like, oh, I can play this game now. Woo! I can't wait to play this game.
Hey man, come on.
That's an incredible game.
Stop it. Stop, G. I know what you're talking about.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I do too.
It's going to be games like that.
To be fair, Lego City Undercover is a good game. It's well worth playing.
Oh, it's a great game. I love it.
I was talking to
not a while though,
I was talking to a couple friends, right, where they were hyping up Detroit's on PS Plus, and I had to, they're not like gamers like that, but like I kept saying like, there's no point of me picking up PS Plus though, because I could buy Detroit for $17 new physically, and that's probably, I could find it even cheaper, I'm sure. And I'm like, dude, I don't need it. And then they're like, what? But if you get it, you still get a whole bunch of other free games. I'm like, yeah, but did you not hear what you said? I have to buy it to get something free. That doesn't make sense. It's not free, but I can just buy fucking Detroit and own it for my whole entire life. Like that's the problem. Once you
right now, brand new for like $17.
Exactly. So once you stop playing, or I mean, once you stop paying, you can't play. You can't play that game anymore. And I like to own my games for the rest of my life. It's like, but they're like, they're pretty casual, so they don't really understand. But it's like, no, and that's why maybe this would be good for them. I don't know.
That's why I said it. A lot of this is going to be very appealing to casual gamers who don't want to deal with, all the stuff that we don't think is a big deal. They do. Mm-hmm. A lot of them do, and they just don't want to deal with it. It's kind of like, PC gamers versus, console gamers. For PC gamers, it's like, oh, this is all very easy. Just, buy the parts and build your own PC, and you don't have to deal with all that other nonsense. And it's like, well, most people brains don't work that way, where they can just buy parts for their PC and build it, and yeah, it's cheaper, and all other benefits come with it. Some people just want to turn the damn console on and start playing. They don't want to deal with all the rigmarole that comes along with PC gaming. So
yeah, because it is. I mean, there's a lot involved.
Yeah, but when you're in it, you don't think it's that big of a deal.
No, I guess if you've been in it longer, but to me, it's like when I was looking at motherboards, I didn't realize there was I knew that AMD had theirs for their chip, CPUs, and that Intel has their boards, but I didn't know that every 20 different brands, and then there's different levels of the motherboard. There's X350, X450, X470. I'm like, holy shit, what is the difference? You got to watch YouTube videos to figure out just a fucking motherboard. So it's just like, It's a little bit more daunting, and then putting it all together and getting everything working isn't the easiest either. So unless you buy a pre-built from like Best Buy or something.
Right. Put it all together and something's not right. Your drivers are all effed up, and it's
Yeah,
like,
so
what's going on?
I mean, I see the appeal to Stadia for, like you said, your kids don't care how they're playing it.
Nope, they don't care at all. Right now, they're on their phone and my iPad gaming. They don't care.
And if they can, if you can take that same platform and now you're playing a full-fledged big budget game, which I don't know if those types of gamers will be interested in, not just your kids, but like.
But that's the thing, though. My kids, when they grow up, they'll be more susceptible to that stuff. To where I wasn't. Where I'm not.
Yeah, they won't care.
The long run, this is gonna be the thing, guys. And that's the difference. That's what I'm saying. Is like this sucks for us. We don't think it's a big deal for us, but
we
these
kind of
kids coming up today, they don't care. They don't care. They play on their phone all the time.
What's that clocked
And,
it?
you know, I can say you say they don't care what they're playing on, and even when I was younger, as I used to play on all those Tiger Electronics,
Yeah,
those
me too.
cheap little plastic things, those little, what they like £5 throwaway little gadgets. Right? I think I still got a few upstairs, but they were still, I mean, it's still video games, but it was still hardware, right? But it didn't take us away from the consoles, right? We knew that's where the real games were. We kept going back, and I just wonder how many kids will convert to say, I know where the real games are. This is where I'm going. I'll just also play this as well.
The thing is, the real games are on this now.
They'll be there, yeah.
Those are big tentpole. I mean, we're talking Assassin's Creed Odyssey. We're talking major games that are. This is not like big little games on Stadia here. They have big tier, third party AAA games. So
it's a good point.
Different. It's different than playing a Super Mario Tiger Electronic game, which was garbage when we played the hell out of it because that's all you had at the time. It's different. Yeah. These kids are getting full-fledged games on their, mobile devices and stuff. And my kids, it pains me because I spent $300 on both of their Switches, and they spend way more time playing Roblox and other stuff on iPads. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It pains you.
It pains me in my wallet.
And just because we got way more viewers now than we did at the start, in the link in the description of this, if you're watching this on YouTube, obviously, down below there's a link to a Discord community, and that's where we're going to do questions. So just click on that link. It's going to take you into the Mario Maker 2 channel. Just search on the tabs, the channel tabs to the left, for questions for the podcast. We got 2 questions in there, and to the Juice Loose crew, don't answer the questions in the chat. Wait till we ask them on air and answer them that way. So
hey Juice, real quick, try clicking and drag. I know I'm pretty sure you don't want Mario Maker 2 to be like the top channel.
Oh, you can. Yeah.
You can click and drag them.
Let's see if that does it.
Really bothered by this Mario Maker being his first one.
I know. I'm just saying, like,
I know.
I don't think people prefer that. I think that's.
I don't know if that's because it was the top one or that was the original one. We'll find out. Next person that joins, I'll know for sure. But
yeah,
you coming in here munching on your dinner and that during that podcast.
I love how his photo. I thought he was just sitting there in front of his webcam, like frozen with that pose.
Why move?
I was like, for a second, like he's just fucking staring contest. What the hell? Because he changed his icon.
Gotcha, bitch.
That's awesome.
No, that's pretty funny.
But I'll share a story real quick about the whole mobile. So not all cell phone games are games. A lot of them are just apps with a shit ton of microtransactions. And I was gonna say this last week, but I forgot. So my sister, she's a couple years older than me, and she's never bought a game console in her life. So gaming's not that interesting to her. Her husband plays Call of Duty all the time, but she has a smartphone.
Casual.
And she's sitting there on. It looks like it's like a little bit higher visual fidelity, like Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer look like. Like there's a room you could place furniture and carpet and paint the walls and hang like put lamps and stuff. That's what I just quickly saw over the shoulder. Oh, whatever, it's fine. Later, she starts kind of chuckling and she's telling a story. She's like, "Oh, my husband, he called me during the day and he's like, get off that cell phone game now." And she's like, "Why? What?" And he goes, "You spent $150 on this phone bill on that stupid designer app." And she's like, "Oh," she's laughing. She's like, "It was just nickel and dime stuff. I just bought little stuff here and there. I didn't know it cost." And this girl she probably doesn't even barely make that in a week. He brings home the money. She takes care of the kids. She has a little side job. And to her, like, that was funny, which I didn't even say nothing. I was shaking my head like, are you fucking kidding me? But she's not going to, like, suddenly start playing Assassin's Creed or Doom Eternal or anything. So that definitely not going to get someone like that. But still, that if we were talking about why there's so many mobile games at E3, with they all have Michael. Why do I want to say Michael? Microtransactions. And these stupid phone apps. I mean, $150 in a month from my sister. I guarantee you that she's not the worst case scenario, and it's probably a little more. It's probably. I mean, they probably just make money hand over fist. It's sickening.
It's the new.
You need to get more people to Breath of the Wild, man. That game converts people. I'm telling you.
That's what I had my Switch with me, and I was thinking about. Just hand it over, say, here, just play for 15 minutes. Do me a favor. Play for 15 minutes and just tell me what you think. I thought about doing that, but didn't have the opportunity. But yeah, you're right. But, I could see 10 years from now, kids 15 years old hearing about, oh, you guys used to hook the big boxes up to your TV and had to turn them on and wait for a thing to load and then put the disc in. Like, they're gonna think that's funny.
It's like that scene in Back to the Future 2 with what's his name, Frodo, when he was a little kid and he was like, he was trying to get the other kids to play this game Wild Gunman. You guys know Wild Gunman.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, you have to put your hands on it? That's a baby's toy. So it's going to be very similar to something like that. It's like, you guys had to do that? That's crazy.
Damn shame. Damn shame.
Fucking kids from Stranger Things didn't even know what a VCR was. They didn't know what it was called. They did
and they're in the show about the 80s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're on
no idea.
the channel that does the hot wing interviews, and it's called Truth or Dab, and it's like tell the truth or answer maybe an uncomfortable question or eat a hot wing, like really hot wing. And there's 3 questions, and one of them's always a trivia one, and he's like, yeah, you guys are in a show all about the 80s, so here's some stuff from the 80s if you can tell us what it is. And they're like, oh, that's a VHS tape. Like, yeah, but what plays it? Oh, and they had no fucking clue. And I just like, man, VCRs are pretty. They've been obsolete for 20 years, but
about 20 years, yeah.
Man, that's sad because that even up to like probably 10, I would use VCR.
I want to say 20. I would say closer to 15 because DVD players when they first came out, they were like $500, $600. So, and I know because I was one of the people who got one back when it was $600. So. That's crazy. But now, what are they? $20 brand new?
Yeah, probably.
Speaking of $20, isn't the PS1 Classic?
Oh.
Damn, that must have hurt you. Jesus Christ.
So anybody here is $20? Is that tempting?
Hell no.
Kind of. I don't know.
I think I'm gonna grab one and mod it for that price.
Or never open it and hope 20 years from now it's super rare. I mean,
that's not gonna happen. Sorry, you're better off just getting.
Give it to your kids to give to their grandkids, and then it might be super rare.
Yeah.
Someday.
What is this? This is terrible.
It had no real rare games on there.
That's the
you know,
problem. Yeah.
You know, the Suicodens and the Symphony of the Nights and all that stuff. You know,
It needed Symphony of the Night for sure.
And it
yeah,
needed
that's
they needed to use the Dual Shock so they could
The
have
DualShock,
expanded
yeah.
the library games, and then it needed to be
Not PAL region.
not be 50
Sorry,
frames per
sorry,
second
Pocket, but-
versions.
You guys have bad frame rates.
No, we have the
Dang.
awesome slow motion Mega Man shit. You guys have like the weird music, like that's not how music's supposed to go. I'm actually because even the PlayStation Mini, like, even for $20, I'm not gonna pick that up because I did not even pick up the NES Mini because I had all the games on there except maybe one or two. I picked up the Super Nintendo Mini because it had like 5 or 7 like really rare games, and one of those was already worth the whole fucking machine. So that I picked up.
Oh, my NES Mini has 700 games on it, so it's all good.
Oh, God.
Like that's why I would buy a PlayStation Classic at this price, because it's like, well, I'll just mod it and put, I'm gonna put the stuff I already have, so it can be more convenient for me to play it that way through HDMI.
Yeah, it's just I'm wondering, like, if you modded it and put the regular version of the game, if it will.
Oh, you can do that. You can mod it and put on your own emulator, so you don't have
Okay.
to use their garbage emulator.
Yeah, interesting. Like it's like people modding, hacking their Switch so they can put
Have themes and
have
stuff,
themes
cool stuff.
and folders. It's so crazy that
Simple things like that you got on the 3DS.
All right, so I don't know if I want to bring this up, but Terrell, I've been not really following. I guess, is there something going on in the Pokemon community that's got people in an uproar? Because I've not been. I've just seen. Some,
Oh God, do you want to do this? Is my question.
I don't know. I don't even know what it's about.
I've seen some new screenshots and stuff. But
Okay, so here's the general base, because I don't think we ever discussed the original topic. So when they were showing E3 footage of the game during one of their Treehouse demonstrations, one of the lead producers, Junichi Masuda, mentioned that this game, if you have, there's a chunk of Pokemon that will not show up in this game. And unlike other games where that was the case for like the main game, but after you beat the game, it would open up the national decks, which allowed every other Pokemon, even if they weren't in that generation, to come through. This game doesn't do that. This game has no form of the national deck. So essentially, whatever is in the game at launch is the only Pokemon that are going to be in the game. And that has elicited a very negative response from the fandom. And I mean, so if you see the hashtag bring back the national decks, or Dexit, I think is the other hashtag. Yeah, Dexit.
Like Brexit. It's hilarious.
That is a lot of the fandom who's very angry with the idea that the national decks, that not every Pokemon will be available in this game. Like I said, it's not really the main story game. Usually that's always limited to whatever Pokemon are in the game from jump. But after you beat the game, they always give you the national decks that allows every other Pokemon from all past games to be in there.
You think they maybe had
800.
You think maybe they had a problem linking the fuck, I forgot the name, the Poke Cloud or whatever the fuck they called that thing, the Pokemon Bank. You think they had maybe an issue with that and they just couldn't get it to work?
Well, no, that's not the case, particularly because Home is supposed to be the replacement for Bank.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So a lot of people were angry. And then what made it worse is that after that information came out and everyone started spamming the hashtag, Junichi Masuda, well, I don't know if it was Junichi Masuda, but they gave, I think in some interviews after E3, they gave some reasonings. And one of them was like improving quality animations. The other one, what was it? And people, and like you're laughing, that's what people did. People laughed at that ridiculousness. And what they did is they ran and made fun of everything in that game. They were like, look at this. These Pokemon have a double kick animation, and the Pokemon's not even moving. They're just moving the model up and down.
You see that video I shared?
Yeah, the one and then
that
the trees.
was a really good video.
The trees with the Ocarina of Time trees, like Oh,
Yeah.
these are N64 graphics. And people have been railing the shit out of them pretty much since the middle of June.
The funny thing is, like, I don't even care about the national decks. I never have and shit. I think it's a funny idea, but I don't think it's like pivotal to the series and shit. But don't come with stupid excuses like the animations, because that was my complaint since day one. A bite is still like a flash, like 5 yards away. That's not better animation, bitches.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you got better animations in like GameCube games from Pokemon, like Gale of Darkness and whatnot. And what was the one in Wii?
you're talking about Battle Revolution,
Yeah, Battle Revolution.
which is
they
what
all
people,
have better animations.
people have also been using that as comparison. Like, look at the animations in Battle Revolution versus the animations in Sword and Shield, and how they're essentially. And people have even went back and looked at the 3DS games and said you're essentially just reusing the same animations from Sun and Moon or Ultra Sun and Moon, and then you just put it in this game. So how is it quote unquote better quality animations? So pretty much they've been running Game 3 through the ringer for the last month or so over this whole situation. And the only reason why it's I'm not gonna say it died down, but it's getting re-brought up more and more every time they release new footage. So the reason why there was like a spam of it today was because Pokemon Shadow dropped a new trailer with like showing off some new gym leaders and new Pokemon. And of course, in the matter of minutes, those videos got disliked to hell, and all you saw was bring back the national death hashtag in the video. Yeah, I can even show you the dislike bar right now for the latest trailer.
When you're game,
So they care about that, but they don't care about N64
How the game looks.
textures.
No,
Right.
but
well,
even
you mean the company or the fans?
The
The
fans.
fans, that's what I'm
No,
saying.
the fans care. The fans.
I think they're starting to notice. I think for the
Well-
first time I see the Pokemon fan base actually
Because they
upset.
want to. In all reality, so it's weird. So the only reason they're really started to complain is because they can't catch every 800 something Pokemon.
It started with that. If it wasn't for that,
But before that, no one was talking about like everything.
right. I agree 100%.
But now it's like, what the fuck you mean I can't catch 796 of them?
No, well, it's not.
People
It's
like
not the
me were
same
complaining
thing
about
because
how it looks and juice and casual fans or people who want to get into Pokemon but look like there's not enough progress for them. We were complaining, but when they said you ain't bringing all your Pokemon, wah!
Yeah.
They went crazy. And they
Mhm.
started, and that's when they started nitpicking everything, like animation and all that stuff.
It happened way later.
now
This
because I have actually I have more of a controversial opinion on it. That's been kind of the running theme. Honestly, this whole National Dex fiasco has become a little ridiculous because I feel like this should not, and like you guys are saying, this shouldn't have been the fucking trigger point to get people mad. Like these are and I made a joke on Twitter earlier. I was like, National Dex fans, Pokemon needs to stop half-assing the quality and give us high quality products. Also, National Dex fans, I can't wait for another Sinnoh remake, which is just a remake of an old game, which is what Game Freak does every fucking generation. And then, like I said, also on Twitter, Pokemon is the only IP that has remakes every time a new generation starts. Every generation has a remake of some sort of an old game, and I'm like, that shit also needs to die. Like, people want to hold on to this National Dex thing, and fine, I get people's concerns with it, but I'm also like, some of this other dumb shit needs to go away too. But it's
the sad thing, the reason why I think this upsets Pokemon fans and the rest not, because since the start, I feel up until after like the second game already, since the third one, I think Ruby Sapphire, I don't know, it's Pokemon fans, they don't care about graphics, but to like a shameful amount of level. They want to collect. I think the Pokemon games are some of the rare games where most of the game is lived outside of the games, like in the fandom and everything. And I think that's why they care more about collecting everything than like the shit we would care about generally, which is like, actual animations of progress or,
You're right. but graphics and animations are two different things. Like that's not exactly.
That and the whole graphics argument only came up because they used it as an excuse for the reason why they didn't put it in that. Like honestly, if they gave like a reason, like say, oh well, we'll patch it in like a few months later after it releases, I doubt any of this kind of critique was happening because the game was getting positive reception up until that announcement. Yeah. It was only until that was mentioned, and then on top of, oh well, we're doing it to bring out high quality animations, and that's when people went, well, no, you're not. Look at these models.
You talk about the thing that like Robert said, or like people want to collect them all, but to me that used to have a different meaning, and that is why I hate the national desk, because to me it was always like, oh cool, this game has like 150 Pokemon, 151, this one has 251, I'm gonna get all the shit, I'm gonna collect them all, you know. But since like after the third game or whatever, they added all 800 Pokemon, I'm like, bitch, I'm never gonna collect them all. I'm not gonna fucking get 800 Pokemon and shit. So I feel like
none of these people complain
the collect them all aspect.
Yeah, none of the people complaining are either, but that was the straw that broke their camel's back there. Yeah. I was like, no, I can't. What if I can't? I think the thing is people are worried that they can't have their favorite Pokemon. There might be a chance they won't be able to get their favorite Pokemon.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily care about all 800 as long as they can get the ones that they love, and there's a chance that they can't get them. You know.
I just feel like it's so bizarre that this is what really triggered them. It's like, come on, man. Like, there's been so many other things, and then all of a sudden now there's an outcry. Like, Jesus Christ.
Well, they needed to do. I'll just say this: is they needed to not make Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu. Just take that year off, or whatever the extra time it took to make that game, and they should have been working on the mainline Pokemon game. For the Switch this whole time, instead of diverting their attention to that game that nobody really needed or asked for, and they would be a lot farther ahead of the game, I think, when it comes to this game. They have to put out a damn game every year, and they're not built like that. They're not Ubisoft. They're not that size of a team.
Yeah,
they're not EA.
Well, because people also have their issues with other things. I'll just kind of quickly go over something because my thought process is that I'm cool with them cutting the national decks. A lot of people aren't. And I can understand people's frustrations. A lot of people use one of the main examples is, oh, well, I've been trading over this particular Pokemon since, I don't know, generation 1 or 2, right? And now there's a possibility they may not show up in the game, my latest game. Or like maybe a loved one I had died in their Pokemon game. Like those are the examples people use.
What? Come on, yo.
I mean, listen, I don't co-sign on that shit, but I can understand.
What happens when the next Smash doesn't feature all 90,000 people?
Well, see, I understand it to a degree, but I'm also in the mindset of this had to happen eventually. There was no way you were going to consistently keep making these kind of games on higher quality systems and keep every single Pokemon with their unique animations, regardless if every attack animation is fully animated or not. That's a bunch of different animations that you have to keep and maintain for every game. Eventually, there was going to be a breaking point. So this wasn't my issue. The issue, but one of the some people look at this as a cop out, and it might be. I'll let y'all be the judge. Is that Game Freak is only a part of the Pokemon Company International. And the unfortunate reality is a lot of people are like, just delay the game. The reason why they'll never do that is because the games kickstart every generation. And the games don't even make the most money for Pokemon Company International. It's the anime, it's the trading cards, it's the merchandise and shit. So the games are always at the forefront because they kick off the generation. But if you delay the games, that means you also now have to delay the anime and the merch and the cards. And unfortunately, they're not stuck in this stupid ass cycle where they got to consistently have the game out by a certain deadline. And so I think,
that around there.
And so I think that's the core of the issue right now. That they're constantly stuck.
They're big. Like I said, they're too big for their own britches. And I can't feel bad for them. I'm gonna tell you why. Because, like you said, up until now, they've been able to bring all their shit over to every game, right? Pretty much, right? Up until now.
Yeah, every game.
So I can't feel bad for you because Bitch, I bought a Wii in 2006. You think I could bring the games I bought over when I came to my Switch? No, I couldn't even do it from my Wii U last generation. So I'm sorry, I can't feel bad for you because you can't bring your Pokemon over.
It's just crazy
from,
that that's the thing.
from the
That's-
beginning when I can't even bring my games I bought last. I can't. That there's no Miiverse on my Switch. There's no. I couldn't even have stuff that I thought was great last generation onto my new console. So I can't feel bad for you. Sorry, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm still excited for the games. I'm still looking forward to them. I think also people are using that whole wild area N64 level graphics joke a little bit too much because I'm like, the
Yeah, I
wild
still think it looks regardless. It looks
I mean,
100 times better than an
looks
N64
better.
game.
like I said, they're running it into the ground because of what they said. We're trying to bring higher quality animations, but I'm like, you're using the lowest hanging fruit to make your counter argument.
That's a bad case you're making there.
And then the other thing with the whole Battle Revolution animations comparison, Battle Revolution's game is literally just stadium fights. There is no world they had to build from scratch. There's no assets for any of that, no new characters, none of that. It's literally like 10 stadiums with various different rule sets. So what else are you going to spend the time
That's true. But that game is, just like that video said, that game is what, 12, 13 years old? Yeah. You couldn't make some progress with the animation. Obviously, maybe it can't be as good or as detailed, but can you do something?
Just like every, they always do like each game they add a little bit more stuff, and I feel like every game they could have added a little bit more animations to certain Pokemons until you have every single one. You know what I mean? Like they could have done something like that even.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I still admit the workload. I get it. But the problem is when you put out a game every year, you're increasing that workload.
Mhm.
You're making it that big, like
eventually something was gonna break. And then the other, I guess the last thing. Remember, I don't know how many of you guys remember Town when they showed out one of the directs.
Oh, Town, yeah.
People were also pissed at the fact that Game Freak's working on other games when they should be focusing all the attention on Pokemon.
Oh my god!
I'm glad they're working on other games.
And I understand the argument. Oh, if Pokemon isn't up to snuff, then why are you focusing on other games? And I'm like, but burnout is a real thing. They need to be working on other titles. A lot of these developers literally have no other experience than working on Pokemon, which isn't a lot of experience in the grand scheme of things.
That's not good for a person that's trying to grow in the industry. For sure.
And that's dumb. It should. Listen. Let them make whatever the fuck they want. Town looks interesting, yo. Come on, man. That's just dumb.
What happened to Town?
Did they make an elephant game that they never released on the Switch?
The Alpha game they did with Sega, I believe, helped them make that, or Sega published it. I'm not sure.
Did even come to a Nintendo console
last year?
What was
Say
that?
what?
Clocked it.
Good.
Sorry, all I said is that it didn't even come to a Nintendo console. So
no, it didn't. It was on PlayStation 4, I think. And
it was a PlayStation 4.
That was pretty weird.
But the question is, what happened to Town? They showed that at E3 2017.
Well, I'm sure they're stressing out right now. Like, maybe we should take some of these Town people and move them over.
I have a feeling I have a feeling it totally is coming out like more so next year.
Yeah, it's gonna get delayed. That's got to be at this point.
Well, at this point, I don't think Game Freak could show it and get a positive reception.
Yeah, I don't think they want to show it. That's true.
It could look fucking awesome, but then they'd be like, "Why does this look so awesome?"
This is better than Pokemon. This is just bullshit.
Well, that's literally what the complaint. People went back and looked at that trailer and said, "This looks better than Pokemon." Why are they focusing their time on this instead of Pokemon?
I do like the art style of Town a lot. It really looks nice.
Well, it's a different game though. It doesn't have like 600 Pokemon in it.
It's also a game that literally, I think even in the description was like the whole game takes place in one town.
Yeah.
So of course the town's gonna be decked out.
It's not gonna be nearly as beefy as a Pokemon game with a million animals.
And like I said, I think the wild area was gonna be the worst looking area in the game. So I was like, I'm not using that to judge. Like,
well, that whole tree thing, it's funny to poke fun at, but if you look at most games that ever release now, you could totally point out trees that look like from N64. That's just the way I see it. Like, other than like when you get super detailed, like Red Dead Redemption and God of War and all those other games, and like stuff like Smart Odyssey, but like if you go for a lot of games, you could go and fucking throw the hammer on a lot of trees in reality.
I think it's more of an art style issue than it is like a graphic.
But even so, like
actual text.
somebody said that the overall game I think looks pretty good. I was just watching that trailer.
Fine. And a lot of those pictures with the N64 trees, they're zoomed into the tree.
Yeah,
They're not that close in any of the trailers and in the gameplay where you can see a tree like that.
And they compare it to N64, which is actually close to the tree. So I mean, it's a bit.
It's a bit off, but it shouldn't even be kind of close. I think that's the point people are making is that it shouldn't even be like.
I feel like if anything, probably it should be more looking like a Super Mario Odyssey, where they still care for every little detail around the world. You know what I mean?
Breath of the Wild has way more trees, I'm guessing, than Pokemon Sword and Shield has in it, and the trees look pretty decent.
Or Breath of the Wild, yeah. But like it just I think that gets a little hammered a little too much because I get it. It's funny, but like to make it look like that's it. Game Freak is done. This tree has killed me. It's like, all right, well,
because you got people saying they're going to boycott the game.
Well, they're nitpicking now because they're pissed off. So
back in 700.
Some people are going to boycott the game. I've been hearing, and then the other half are just like, if they put out some type of statement saying they're going to change it, they'll be fine.
No one's going to boycott that game.
Yeah, I was thinking
maybe like
10 million plus units. I don't want to hit it.
Yeah, I mean, I could see like 0.001% going through with it.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, too bad I didn't buy it on the average we passed 10 million. You know what I mean? So it's like it's gonna do amazing numbers. It's gonna be one of the best selling Switch games of all time, I believe.
That game could only give you Pikachu, and it's still gonna sell the exact same numbers. Like Clock that said, nobody's gonna boycott that shit. Everybody who says they're gonna boycott that, the game is gonna launch, they're gonna fucking buy it. They all pre-ordered it. Nobody's gonna cancel that shit. I don't want to hear that bullshit.
Yeah, it's whatever.
So essentially, the main thing is that it's kind of killed some of the excitement. Every time I see a new trailer, I'm excited for a trailer. Then I scroll around the comments, I'm like, "Fuck, here we go," and that's the thing. That's what I'm dealing with. Even on the Twitter, I follow the Pokemon social medias. So every time I go to Pokemon Twitter to look up some new news, I click the replies, bring back National Dex. And it kind of, to me, it kind of bums me out. But I do agree that there are certain aspects of Game Freak's design philosophy currently that needs to change. But like the Dex was one of those things I expected to change. My issue is more so world design and fucking characters and story and that kind of shit. Also, game fucking mechanics. Those have always been my issues. I think it's stupid that we got people whining about the Dex, but not concerned about the fact that our franchise remakes generations every fucking other year. It feels like
they expect it. Like I said, they've been conditioned.
Like, why is that not a problem? That's my
they're conditioned, man.
That pisses me off. Like, how are you gonna sit here and cry about a Dex, about a lack of maybe out of almost 1,000 Pokemon, you're concerned that maybe 200 to 300 might not be in the game
because they don't have that Jiggly Wiggly Tough anymore, man.
But you're now concerned about the fucking fact that there's there's no Sinnoh remakes, god damn it. And I'm like, yo, we don't need them. No other franchise does this. But that's always been my thing.
And Terrell, I just want to point out, you're a Pokemon fan and you've been supporting these games for years. Because I know I got called out for saying the same exact shit a couple years ago, first with Ultra Sun and Moon and then with Let's Go. And because I'm not a fan, I can't notice a trend like everything you're saying.
The trend's really obvious.
And so I got, basically my point didn't matter.
Bullshit because everybody, especially on YouTube, has a mild to very strong opinions about shit they never played before. So I don't want to hear no nonsense about, you have to be a fan. That is bullshit. Anybody who even said that also themselves have critiqued games they've never played before or touched. So come on.
And I do want to be open about the whole being a part of the problem thing. I can easily admit, most people will agree that after the DS era, which was Generation 5, the 3DS era is pretty fucking mediocre overall. And buying into a bunch of those games was part of the fucking problem. Yeah. I didn't buy Let's Go Pikachu because Let's Go Pikachu was another fucking cash grab that was even more shameless than the last ones. But a bunch of fucking people complaining about all this National Dex shit bought a fucking another retread of Generation of
Somebody
Generation
bought that
1.
shit. What is it at? 11 million copies?
It's at like 10 million combined with Pikachu and Eevee.
Well, that was after the fiscal year. That was at 10 million. That was after
Yeah.
March.
Yeah, I just put it up to 11 because I thought it had to be
I'm
at
sure
least.
it
Oh
is.
no, it probably is 11 now. But I'm like, that's so I can take responsibility that co-signing on some of these 3DS titles probably shouldn't have happened. Realistically, it shouldn't. And honestly, it might take some major change or maybe a game not selling as well for there to be some major restructuring in the fandom. But to end this off on a light note, the footage that was shown today looks fucking great. Got a new cute ass gym leader, 10 out of 10.
There it is.
She's Bay. Hey, look,
Her name's
I don't
Bay.
give a fuck. You will not
Yeah,
take
name is literally Bay, yo.
Almost. It's Bia.
you will not take away my joy for this title.
Mhm.
Bunch of fan art. The game still looks good. I'm so excited. It's still on pre-order. So
All right, we'll get to the questions. We got some questions in the Discord community, but before that, some people watching the stream would have seen me stumble across this article, and somebody asked Miyamoto about falling behind with VR or network services, and he gave the most
Oh no.
PR bullshit answer,
Oh,
assuming
no.
the translation's spot on.
that.
So,
I know what this is.
quote,
Fuck you, Miyamoto.
quote-
You cost us Grand Theft Auto.
we have not fallen behind with either VR or network services. We worked on them from the very beginning, that's true, and have been experimenting with them in a variety of ways. In that time, we have objectively evaluated whether they actually allow our consumers to have an enjoyable play experience and whether we can operate them at an appropriate cost. Because we don't publicize this until we release a product, it may look like we're falling behind. What kind of fucking answer is that?
First of all, is the translation correct? Because they always come back a week later and said, "Oh, they translated it wrong."
Yeah, this was from the shareholders. I'm guessing.
Okay.
I'm
That's
guessing it
probably
wasn't
right.
official.
Okay.
But it's like just because you've been like they've had network,
Experimenting in the
yeah,
basement.
and the NES or the Famicom had some networking stuff. That doesn't mean the
I
really.
made it worse. I said that in my video about how Nintendo's so innovative and they've done all this stuff before, and they shouldn't be where they are as far as network and all that stuff because they were and the NES was online. Like they have been doing this stuff forever. So just because you were tinkering with some stuff doesn't make you at the forefront of it. There's a bunch of people that have already jumped in and they're doing pretty decent stuff. Why aren't Nintendo, who were there before everybody, doing this stuff already?
Exactly. Like the fact that the thing that stands out is the appropriate cost at an appropriate cost. Like, it's like the company I work for. They never go all in with a website. We do, we're like an industrial products, like warehouse, like it'd be like a small time Amazon with a more specific product line. Mm-hmm. And they never spend the money to have a website that's easy to navigate, that's quick, and works consistently. So on our like fifth website now in like 15 years, this one it duplicates orders automatically. They just had to fucking say, fuck it. We're going to start manually entering them. We'll have it convert to an email so that we can manually enter these orders because the website just can't do it. And it's like, God. It just keeps happening because they won't spend the money. If they just would have spent the money the first time to have the website, which it's super expensive to have someone like
build it's not cheap.
A really good website. But if they would have spent that money the first time, maybe they would have had another one by now, 15 years later. But still, instead of all the money you've wasted over the years trying to fix these budget ones, and that's, to me, that's like Nintendo's Online. Like, if you just would have spent the money and did the research and had the shit like what people wanted, plus have your little twists like your Miiverse and stuff, charge for it from the beginning. Well, not from the beginning, but maybe last gen, and we'd be where we need to be by now. Instead of just they keep taking these start over. These little, hey, the Wii had some cool little features, but overall it was severely lacking. Didn't have a friends list or anything. Like
they did that out of house. They didn't even do that in house.
Yeah.
That's what we lost the online.
Yeah, that's why the Wi-Fi, whatever it was called. It's like someone asked me, I don't think they picked up Mario Maker yet, and they're like, "Oh, can you search for your friends' levels?" I was like, no. It's like, this is Nintendo we're talking about. It's like, no, you can't just go through your friends list and it automatically show you friends that have the game that have made levels, and you could just click on and find their profile. Of course, that doesn't exist. How stupid is it when you really think about it that I can't just go in, find Mizzy, find his profile in Mario Maker and follow him, and when he uploads a level, get a notification. Like, maybe it's a lot of coding and a lot more work than I know, but it just seems like such an obvious inclusion.
I'm more on the network side. I don't mind the VR stuff, but because I don't, VR to me isn't there yet. It's still not there. It's getting there. It's a lot better than it was. It's gonna need another generation and a half, I think, to get to where it's like easy for everybody to use, and you're not puking, using it or all kinds of stuff, because of screen quality and all that stuff. But networking, like I said, every Nintendo console since the NES has had an extender at the bottom to where it could hook up at some point to the internet in some way. And they've always dabbled it. N64 had one, Super Nintendo had an extension port. They've always had stuff. The N64 was online. Excuse me. You could trade in Japan, at least. You can create levels in F-Zero G or F-Zero X and trade them to other people and play other people's levels. They were doing it on the N64. Okay, so we should be a lot better than we are right now. That's all I'm saying. Looking at what they've done before, and he's trying to defend what they've done before, then why are you so far behind everybody else right now?
They just like, I think they just like to keep. I mean, it's a crazy mentality, but I think they just like to keep like their families of systems, and you can see the pattern as they start again with each new system. So you would have had like the SNES and the Game Boy. They hooked up together, with the Game Boy players, etc. The N64, the Game Boy Color, with Pokemon Stadium and all that stuff. GameCube, Game Boy Advance, Wii, DS, 3DS, and Wii U. And now we got the Switch, which is just by itself. It doesn't connect to the 3DS. It doesn't connect to the Wii U. So it's like with each little family system. They'd like to start again. They still keep ideas, from previous consoles and stuff. But when they go into a mentality with a system, that they have an idea for it, and they'll apply whatever they want to apply to it from before, or whether they want to apply new. And it doesn't necessarily mean to them, just because they had the Wii Virtual Console and it worked all fine and dandy, it doesn't mean they want to transfer that over to their new family system because they want to try something different. They'll scrap it.
I don't even mind they don't have Virtual Console. I mean, kind of sucks that I couldn't at least bring over what I had, but I don't mind that they don't have Virtual Console because it's not financially viable. And I said, I think I even made a video about me being worried about Virtual Console affecting indie game sales, because especially in the beginning of the Switch, if you think people would care about Snake Pass and all those other games that sold well, if they drop SNES, N64, all that stuff onto the Virtual Console for people to buy, no, those games wouldn't have sold well. Those games that come out, because people like to buy what they are familiar with. You're gonna buy Super Mario World for the 5th time before you buy Celeste.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna happen. So,
but they even came out, and said themselves that what they wanted for the Switch was just a sleek, fast, minimalist ecosystem. Right? That was their game plan. It doesn't matter what came before to them. They're like, this is what we want for the Switch.
Yeah.
And that's what they've done. And to them, they do believe that if they want to do VM, we want it minimalist. We want people to play together, but we want to keep it as basic as possible because we want the system to be fast. And that's their mentality. So for them, they know they can do it. They're dabbling with it. They got some crazy guy down in the basement. He's probably got a 4DS down there. Just saying, I got this 4 screens. It flips open. It's got holograms and shit. And we do you want to do this now? No, fuck that. We'll leave that till 10 years later. Yeah, we'll do it then. And I'm sure they do some crazy stuff, and they are with it. I truly believe that they are with it, but it's just whatever gameplay they have for whatever type of console or family systems, that's what they stick with, regardless of what came before or might come after.
How much more fast or minimalist? How much more does the Switch benefit from the way it is over than something like the Vita? Because I don't hear people complaining about how slow the Vita is, and it can do all these modern things.
Yeah, I'm not defending them. I'm not
No,
defending.
I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying, but if that's their mentality, I'm just speaking to what you're saying about their mentality.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that?
Because I think you can have both. I think
challenger approach.
Yeah, you can.
So
you can indeed.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, there were some defendos saying that the friends lobby system in Mario Maker 2 was there. It was their intention all along. It just got pushed to the back, and we're like, well, then where is it? If it was planned all along, then did they have any work involved? Like, I just thought, in my opinion, they might have maybe drew it on the board and then said, we don't need that, because it seemed to me they were dead set on the game was done. In my by the time that came out, I have no doubt in my mind the game was pretty much, if not completely done, because people were already talking. Game Explain was hinting that they had it, but they couldn't talk about it. And then the reason it's going to take a while is because that, like I said, that game has no friends list integration whatsoever. 0% integration built in already. So to have a friends invite system and stuff, they'll probably do the bare minimum. You just create a lobby or join a lobby, friends lobby, and it's like create one and then hope people jump in. We'll have to get on the Discord community, say, hey, we're playing Mario Maker, jump in. I got a lobby open. That's what it's going to be.
Well, we've spoken about that before, and this applies to my logic as well in terms of their online infrastructure, the way they treat their games, and the online with those games is just like, we have this game, and this is how we want the online to be for this game. We have this other game, this is how we want the online to be just for this game, and that's how they function. That's how they seem to function. Whereas they have an idea for something, and that's what they apply to it, because
that's
how
crazy
they.
Because as far as their games go, they understand how to build on top of games and gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't they translate that to hardware? It's insane to me. I don't know.
All right, so let's get to the questions. So for the Juices Loose guys, if you want to open the Discord and click on the tab, you can see them. Otherwise, just wait till I read them. I will delete the question after we ask it, so that I know what.
Puberty Live just then. You went through Puberty Live just then.
Did I? I didn't even notice. So Alex Prime,
where's the? Oh, there it is.
He asked, "Are you guys buying the Switch Mini or Switch Pro?" So to me, to answer that question, I'd have to know what they are and that they'd actually have to be real product. But I'm gonna phrase it in the way of what they have to be or what they'd need to be for me to buy either. So the Switch Mini, assuming it's what people say, it's a portable system without detachable Joy-Cons and stuff, I have no interest in that. So I'm a definite no for that one, even if it's $200 or less. Switch Pro, it'd have to give me something decent, a pretty decent improvement. Whether it's just, the Switch is already fast when it comes to games, loading up games and all that. So it'd have to give me some kind of visual improvement that's noticeable, and maybe add some extra Bluetooth functionality. I'd have to add some pretty decent stuff to get me to upgrade. So that's me. Let's go to Terrell, because I haven't heard from you in a minute. If you're there.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I would at least get a Pro. I don't know if I get a Mini. Particularly because the Switch already works so well as it is. I don't really think I need a Mini. The only reason I would get a mini is if the mini was like an improvement on the Switch overall, except for the fact that you couldn't dock it. And it also depends on what came out first. But yeah,
Well, you play a lot in handheld, so
What if a 1080 screen or 1080p screen now? So it goes
Yeah,
back
no
and forth
way.
every week.
yeah. There's the rumor going around with that.
the games are 540p. Like, why would you need a 1080p? That makes no sense.
Hey, listen, they took out the development cost of the dock, so it's like, yo,
Yeah.
man, we could put a
Gotta
1080p
make
there's-
screen there.
What do you want?
There's no reason to not have a small little, like that one photo I showed, that person mocked it up where you set the mini down on like a charging, like a wireless charging station, but it also has some pins to connect, and basically it acts as a dock too.
I wish I would have never saw that because we're not going to get that. It's gonna
Yeah,
piss me
plus
off.
it had like ergonomic grip to like the Joy-Cons. Well, they weren't Joy-Cons, but you know what I mean. It just looked like a lot more comfortable of a portable system, which would be, I think, pretty appealing. But what about you, Robert?
If I had to pick one to actually pick up, it would totally be the Pro. I'm not a handheld guy, so I'm not gonna get something that's mini and shit like that. And I don't know, we all here got big hands, so you know, I don't know if we really need something smaller to grab and hold on.
But it doesn't have to be just more powerful too. They could really improve just the complete design of the system
The build
too.
of the thing.
Yeah. But that's I think if anything, I'd have to pick up a Pro over anything. I did for the 3DS XL, the new 3DS XL, and I don't even play that console, so it's kind of like the odds are I'd likely pick it up.
All right, Retro Death.
I picked up a new 3DS XL, I think, when the 3DS was like dying in its last year or something. Only at the utmost end, and only because I think there was some games coming out that would only work on it, and the joystick. And I wanted a bigger screen to look at because I like big screens. I don't see a problem with the size of the Switch or anything like that. So I don't care about a Pro, about upgrades or anything like that. And I will seriously, and this is dead serious, because I don't care about the Mini either, but I will pick up a Mini if it's going to be on the scale of the NES and Super Nintendo Classic. Then I'll pick one up because that's just hilarious.
Oh man, that'd be tiny. Holy shit! Like that's a literal micro.
That's a mini.
Yeah, like a Game Boy Micro.
That'd be funny as a 1-inch screen.
I can't see shit.
I gotta hope that it's like that, so people are like, "What?"
All right, T. What do you think?
Yeah, I would happily have bought a mini when I bought my daughter's Switch and my son's Switch. But for right now, I have no.
Would you trade either of those in for?
I would trade them in, yes, because they have really wonky Joy-Cons and whatnot issues all the time, and I would totally trade their systems in for a mini for both of them, for sure. Even if it was only like, but even if I was only saving like $10, because they could definitely use the upgrade as far as the wear on their consoles. But yeah, I'm gonna get a Pro if it meets Pro standards for me, because I also have Joy-Con issues with my Switch, and I would love to upgrade to something better, but it has to be better. That's the problem. And I don't know if it's just going to be a 1080p screen or something. So it depends on the build of it. And yeah, if it's an upgrade similar to 3DS to new 3DS, yeah, I would get on that.
Yeah, because I mean, that improved the 3D so significantly. Like, not that the Switch has 3D, but something to that nature where it's like, this just makes like life and using the Switch just so much better. Like I said, I was playing in portable mode because Mario Maker, is like, I've drained the battery 4 times now with Mario Maker, and I think before that, I think I may have gotten a low battery warning once or twice in 2.5 years. The thing I've noticed the most is how much those goddamn Joy-Cons flex, like, forward and back. Right. It's like, oh my God, like, I feel like I snap them right off, like, it's trying to play like intense levels and stuff in portable mode, it just doesn't feel very good for me for that type of experience. And I can't imagine like playing like Bayonetta 3 or something with that,
God.
you know, like
Never.
break the damn thing, you know, because that gets some pretty tense. So clocked it. I kind of feel like, well, I guess just go ahead. I'm not going to assume what your answer is going to be.
As some of you might know, Breath of the Wild 2 is being announced and it's coming out. So whatever's out by the time that game comes out, I'm buying another Switch because I'm sick to death of having to share my current Switch with my family. I don't get to play it anymore. It's depressing. And when that game comes out, I don't want when Breath of the Wild came out. Like I said, man, it was like a drug. And this second game's going to be the same. And I can't be having anyone disturbing me this time. So whatever's out there, I'll buy it. You know, if there's a better model, you know, more robust, especially for the kids and stuff, I'll buy it because I don't really have a massive problem with the Switch. I love its design. I think for most of us, that the biggest problems are the Joy-Cons, how they attach to it, how flimsy they become, the drifting of the Joy-Cons themselves. I think if they were rock solid to the Switch and rock solid as controllers themselves, then perhaps many of us won't have as many biggest issues with the console, apart from wanting, you know, maybe a better screen or whatever. But even then, I'm pretty much content with it. I pretty much played most of Hollow Knight on portable. You know, there's no issues.
I was copying over some Mario Maker levels that I have on the Wii U game. You know, I was using the gamepad in my lap, and I was, you know, square for square recreating. I did my level, and then I've currently I did a level I had downloaded. It was my favorite level, and I don't have the code anymore, so I don't know even how to play it online on the Wii U version. But I have it downloaded, thinking I could. I didn't know you couldn't re-upload game levels you downloaded back then. So either way, I'm trying to recreate this level. I've done it, and just the difference between the Switch's screen and the Wii U gamepad, it's like just the vividness of the colors and just the quality of the image. It's unbelievable. It's how much better the Switch screen is over the Wii U gamepad. And I always thought the Wii U gamepad looked good. I didn't think it looked amazing. I have no issues with the actual 720p screen. My issues are just kind of in 2.5 years, just little things here and there. Like, I was unlucky to have the dock that rubs the bottom right corner, not the screen, right, but it's in the border. So my screen protector has got the wear marks, and then up higher, I'm noticing other wear marks, and I'm thinking, like, after seeing that mock-up of that Switch Mini and how it docked, just kind of sets it on there. You know, it doesn't need to be like that exactly, but just the sliding in to this like pretty cheap plastic housing of the dock and stuff. Like, I could see a lot of like ways they could just really make this feel even more. Remember when we first got it, it felt pretty sleek and modern, but I think 2.5 years later, you know, technology moves pretty quick to have something that just feels a little.
Speak to T. He got some nice custom docks, haven't you, T?
Yeah, some dock plates. But just the whole mechanism of sliding in and how the USB Type C, you know, doesn't always just eat. Sometimes you're a little slightly off in alignment, and it's just like, it's just a little bit clunky, I feel, at this point. And you know, just a bunch of little stuff like put an Ethernet, what do you want, port in the fucking dock, you know, and you don't make people buy an adapter, you know, activate the USB 3 for high, you know, for just better quality there, and add Bluetooth so you can have your headsets and everything connect without having this little plug in the. It's just
plenty of quality of life stuff they could do for sure.
Just a bunch of little stuff. So anyway,
Pro should be 1080p screen though.
I think if you're going to call it a Pro, it needs to
VR stuff. If they really want to go into it more, I think they need to up it for VR for sure. But
yeah,
go ahead. Sorry,
I was Oh, I was gonna go to the next question. This one instead of just going down the line because it's gonna take forever. Just feel free to answer whenever. So, what are some of your guys' favorite indie titles?
Team
Mine,
Cherry.
yeah, mine is Hollow Knight on the Switch especially, and then SteamWorld Dig 2. Those are my two favorite.
Image and Form, awesome. I'm a big fan of Supergiant Games. I think they're one of the best indie studios out there. They released Bastion first, and then Transistor and Pyre, and they're just absolutely fucking quality games. And I'm either going to call that game company who done Journey and Flow and Flower indie company because they are a private indie company. They just had a free deal game with Sony. But Journey is one of the most phenomenal gaming experiences I've ever had. Absolutely, I managed to play the game. I think exactly how is it envisioned, and it's just absolutely stunning. Other games, is it Play Dead? Is it with Limbo stuff like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Anybody else?
He sounded like,
Yeah,
like he was drunk, yo.
I can remember
Oh,
it was
yeah.
there, but
Wait.
I thought he was about to start rapping and shit.
For me, it's
You looking for that remix, T?
it's the same. Like Hollow Knight has to be mentioned. Obviously, it's in my top 3. I have Limbo in my top 3 as well. That Clocked It mentioned, and Dust and Elysian Tale, which is also on the Switch. It's absolute masterpiece, I feel. And then there's like smaller games like Knet Underground that was on the Wii U and Papers, Please. I like the variety that indies always offer.
yeah.
Bruh. Axiom Verge.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
More Fight. Floor Kids. Everybody slept on
Floor
Floor
Kids,
Kids. So sad.
great man. I love that game. Yeah.
Snake Pass. Owlboy.
There's
I
a
mean,
lot.
I go on and on and on.
I can't believe I forgot Axiom Verge because at the time after I beat that, I was like, "This is the best indie game ever made."
So I still haven't played it.
Yeah, I'm surprised you forgot that one. Jim.
That's before Hollow Knight took the
But all the
crown.
time.
Yeah, Clocked It. You got to play Axiom Verge.
Axiom Verge is excellent.
It's amazing. All right.
Gunman Clyde. It's like, what is it, like $3 on the eShop?
Oh, Gunman.
HD collection for 1 and 2. Go get
I
that.
had it on 3DS, man.
It's on
it's not
3DS,
amazing.
everything.
Game.
Yeah, I enjoy that game a lot.
Very good games.
I'd say for me, I'd personally say Stick It to the Man. I really, really fucking love that game.
Yeah, that's funny as well. That game. I haven't completed it, but I did have it on Wii U.
It's super damn funny. And then also Runner 2. I really love Runner 2. And Super Meat Boy. I really enjoyed Super Meat Boy a lot.
Yeah, it's good.
And also Minecraft. Fucking Minecraft, yo. It's
That
not
shit
really an indie game anymore, but it was an indie game for the longest. And that shit was greatness.
Well, technically, it's still an indie game.
What?
Sorry, Retro, you are right. Technically, it is still an indie game, but
Nah, fuck you
I
guys.
say when you start mentioning all these indie games, you just realize that even a stigma of calling them indie as if they're just lower
Yeah.
form of game and stuff. Some of these games are just fucking just some of the best games you've ever played. They're just
It's
phenomenal.
Ukulele.
uh,
Well, I did say some of the best games.
I think it is a damn shame that
Guacamelee is good.
but
Guacamelee, yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
that's a game I gotta play. Guacamelee. That's a game one of these days.
I didn't
So
love it
same.
as much as everybody, but I did enjoy it. So Terrell,
Yeah.
Rock wants to know: are you buying the new Booby Senrikaga game when it comes out in a few hours?
The hell's a Siren Kaga game? You mean
Yeah,
Kagura?
whatever.
Senran Kagura. That's what he typed.
Yeah, it's already preloaded on my fucking Switch. Literally, midnight comes and I'm good to go.
Oh,
son.
Midnight comes, Terrell comes.
yeah, more than midnight.
Ah!
More than midnight.
Get it? Because I'm a sexual deviant, guys. It's funny.
So what do you do
Everyone
in the
laugh.
game? What do you do in this game? I'm curious.
It's a pinball game.
Oh, it's pinball.
It's just
No,
it has a lot of good imagery. I'll say that.
Peach ball game, not a pinball game.
Technically, hey,
So where does the ball go into?
oh, you dude.
Oh my god.
I mean, I mean, the Japanese version's been out for a while. I will send you gameplay.
Let's watch a trailer. I'll watch
Not
it.
being bad either. It's called Peach Ball.
It is called Peach Ball. Are you actually gonna go watch a trailer, Juice?
I'm gonna watch it so people can watch it with me.
I don't think you're prepared. I really don't.
I didn't think it was that bad.
No, yeah, but see, Juice is a little too much.
I also have Rocket League is an indie game.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's the best one all time for sure.
Peach Ball is the best ball.
I don't see no link there, Terrell.
Oh, my bad. Give me 1 second.
So next question, Malik. A few months back, there was lots of talk of Nintendo and Microsoft working together. Was Banjo, Lucky's Tales, Cuphead what that was leading to, or do you guys think an even bigger tie-ins are coming?
Well,
what is it?
I think a Banjo game is coming.
Oh,
I think it's going to be on, obviously going to be on Xbox, but I think it's also going to be on Switch.
You mean the best box?
Morning, we got partial nudity here. So while you guys are answering that question, I'm watching this
It's
trailer.
not like you monetize this.
Oh my god, not partial.
shit, yo, whoa!
Y'all are terrible.
So you guys, anyone else agree, disagree?
Furries too?
Dude, this is a pinball game.
I like how you saw like the first 5 seconds.
Oh, they're in the pinball machine. Okay.
Yeah, they're in the pinball machine.
Yo, you just hit her in the head with your.
How many
ball.
titty flops is in this game?
Lots
It's
of
the best
titty
type of-
flops.
It's the best.
Literally just hitting.
How much? I mean, you really think? Like how much time you think you put? How much time? I got some Powerade I drank and
Yeah, of course.
how much
That's
time do you
totally
see yourself putting into this pinball game?
A little unhealthy. I'll say that.
Pinball game's fun though, man.
I mean, pinball is
Pinball
pinball
game's
regardless. Also, I'm probably not going to win everything on the first try because I'll be distracted.
So Peach Ball games are funner.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh, they don't show. I'm seeing that the trailer shows the best part. The best part they may not show.
Really good animations.
oh my
Oh
god!
yeah, it's quality.
Ice cream melting on her.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I don't think
Better,
they show
better
it.
It's
animations.
marvelous. That's what I was.
Holy
calling
Yeah,
it.
that's the name of the developer.
That's
that was
how I
literally
described the game. Too.
Oh, it's not oh, they didn't show the best part of the trailer. It's fine. You don't need to see it.
Why? What is it?
It's what happens when you get to when you have to get like 3 sexy times. I think is what it's called. I forget what.
So they didn't think just anime girls and bouncing boobs was enough. They had to put them in furry outfits too, just to cover the entire
Yeah, you gotta
gamut.
cover the-
I mean, look. Hey, look. I mean, people
Oh,
just
if
like
you
certain
think
types of
that's
outfits.
everything.
But I don't care because the best girl Riona's in the game, so I don't give a fuck, yo.
They have names.
Yeah. Remember this started. All right, Robert. This started on the
They have
3DS as a
names.
fighting game.
3DS, man.
I know that many.
These women
they're-
have names.
This is a side. This is a side game. The original games are like beat 'em ups. They're beat 'em ups. They're just sexual beat 'em ups.
I have Cinnamon Kagura on 3DS.
Yeah, I'd get this game on the Xbox One X. That's where I'd buy it.
Terrell, did you ever play the? I think it's also Senran Kagura, the water pistol one. That's
Oh,
kinda like
Peach.
the- that's
Peach,
so
what is
good.
it? It's a Peach Beach Splash. That's what it's
It's
called.
so good.
It's only on the PS4. I haven't played it.
Yeah,
But it's essentially like a shooter. It's actually. It looks really fun.
it's really
It's pretty
good
shallow
gameplay
looking.
wise.
Why? Because it's in the kiddie pools. Water jumps.
So
Like, you
anyone else
see,
have any?
If I bought this game, there's no way I could justify
We're all
it to my-
deviant now.
Yeah, but say don't.
Clocked
yeah,
it. Would
but
you
say-
be able to play the game if you owned it?
No, he would not.
No, I
go-
would not.
He would go to jail. No bullshit.
So anybody have any other response to the Microsoft Nintendo partnership? I don't know that what people were hearing and stuff turned out to be, just the Cuphead was leaked in advance, but no one was talking about Lucky's Tales, and it wasn't till a few people were starting to point at Banjo. But I don't know that any of that was what it turned out to be. The band, maybe Banjo and Smash, but there's some pretty strong NDAs with that one, so I'd be shocked if
Yeah, there was. I mean, no one. It didn't leak, did it?
No.
I don't think, Banjo.
No, it didn't
Yeah.
leak. It's just people were speculating because
Well, I mean, if you consider that Banjo belongs to Microsoft, I still see it as like a Microsoft in partnership. Indeed, then I would hope that one of the final Smash characters would be a legit PlayStation rep. And I know you got like Metal Gear and shit, but like that's more like a thingy at this point. It not really belongs to Sony the way Banjo belongs to them and shit. So I would like to see something like that.
Nah, I don't think that.
I don't want Ratchet in Smash. I'll just say that. Or
They have
Clank.
no one.
These guys have had representation on Nintendo.
Jack and Daxter.
I don't think you're gonna have a PlayStation because that's just too like it's them, and they don't want to fuck with us, so we're not fucking with them. You know what I mean?
I love when Robert explains shit.
You know what I'm saying? But like to me, it's like I think I wouldn't be surprised if we got like something like the Halo Master Chief Collection on the Switch, something like that.
Could it run?
Ooh. Would it have friend invites? Is the bigger question.
Nah, they ain't gonna have.
Now imagine
Well,
like,
because you have
thing
You have
and
Xbox Live, so.
through Xbox Live, so
Oh, that's true.
All right, this one could end the podcast. When do you guys think Breath of the Wild 2 will come out? This from Malik. He says next year, the 20th Zelda game in 2020 makes perfect sense.
that's why it's not gonna happen.
So I think I'd be shocked if Breath of the Wild 2 doesn't come out in 2020. I'm just gonna
Really?
say that. Mhm.
Dude, that's awesome. I keep thinking like 2021,
No.
20.
If they were starting over with a brand new game, I'd say that. But
I'm full on next year as well. I reckon it's coming.
Really? Oh my god, yo! If
March.
really-
I'm
I
saying.
said that pretty much immediately. I think it's gonna be
We-
next year game.
We've had this discussion before already as well. And I think 2021 at the earliest, I feel. And it's like you guys said, they're not just porting over or using like the same assets and shit. This is technically the first actual Switch Zelda game, if you don't count Link's Awakening as a remake. You know, it's technically the first real Zelda. So I feel I hope at least that they'll put more effort into it. That if you put Breath of the Wild next to Breath of the Wild 2, you instantly know just like, yeah, okay, there's a big difference somehow. I am hoping for that. And especially considering a few days ago only, they still posted like help for actual dungeon designers, I think. I don't see this thing appearing at the end of next year. No way.
Well,
I think
let me explain to you. You might have forgotten. On the N64, obviously we got Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask looks significantly better than Ocarina of Time. And that had to do with the fact that they built that engine, just like they built Breath of the Wild's engine, obviously on the Wii U. You can take that engine, and now you can tweak it. You can play with it and make it what you want it to be on the Switch.
So yeah, the Wii U's not holding it back, quote unquote.
The Wii U's not holding it back, right? So, and that was a 2-year turnaround. This is going to be 3 years.
Well, the game was done in probably by the end of 2016.
Right. And they held it for a year. They talked about that. This is something they've told us. So to me, I don't think it's crazy to think it's going to be next year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if
especially
2021.
after what happened with Metroid 4, Prime 4. I don't think they would like, all right, here we go. What happened with Breath of the Wild as well, actually. Here's the game, and 4 years later it comes out. I don't think they want to do that this time.
So here's a funny thing. Do you guys think what do you think we'll see first? The release of Breath of the Wild 2 or the first trailer for Metroid Prime 4?
Oh, that's close. Because I think Breath of the Wild is in 2020, so
I reckon we see Zelda first. Okay.
I think the release of Zelda.
First full trailer, you're saying?
the first trailer with gameplay.
Yeah, the gameplay. No, not even that. Maybe even the first trailer in general. As long as it's not a teaser.
Yeah.
It's going to be close, but I think E3 2020 probably see Metroid Prime 4. And I think Breath of the Wild 2.
That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
Worried.
No, I don't think we will.
He also asked another question in the same. I don't know if you guys are all done guessing, but
I say 2021.
Robert has so much trouble answering questions like that. So he also asked what happened to diversity within game genres. For example, if you wanted a basketball game, you could get NBA, NBA Live, Street, NBA Ballers, NCAA. List goes on. But
EA
now it's
happened.
pretty much 2K and
Man,
Live.
don't get me started on this.
But you could say that for a lot of, like,
I told you what happened. Even in my EA video,
Yeah.
the bigger the profits, the bigger these companies got, the less they did. And NBA, I don't know if the NBA's license is still out there for everyone to get, but obviously NFL, they're exclusive to EA, so you're not going to get that many different games for them. But yeah, I mean, I think it's fear. A lot of people just are afraid to go up against these big companies. They want to go up against 2K games for their basketball game, or NBA Live, which is hit or miss. They come out once every other year to try again to come out against the 2K, but it has to do with that and paying for that license, and then having to make sure that game sells. I mean, I think it's just fear that we don't
They
get
can now.
as many.
Like I think I can't remember if you mentioned in your video or not, but EA, they pissed me off since the Dreamcast, because they turned down they didn't put any games on the Dreamcast, mostly because Sega said EA wanted their sports games to be exclusive on the Dreamcast, right? As in not make any other sports games available, in their genres on the Dreamcast, just FIFA,
Right.
just
They wanted
NBA,
free
whatever.
reign.
Yeah, and Sega stuck
Like they got on
their
Madden.
middle finger for the most part. And it went to show that when Sega knuckled down and made their own sports series, they were good games. Even I played them back then. I'm not huge into sports games, and my friend loved the 2K series and stuff over what EA offered. But the market dictated exactly what they wanted, where they wanted the Dreamcast to go, and EA were a part of that, and so were gamers. Gamers were a big part of diversity dying in many genres, because they just decided to focus on one ecosystem, which at that time was the PlayStation. They got caught up in all the lights and the glimmer, and rejected many forms of diversity, which is why a lot of genres died back then as well.
I never even thought of it. That's straight up facts right there, because the Dreamcast is one of the most diverse consoles on the planet. Still has one of the most diverse libraries out there, and
there was nothing. Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast was better than any beat 'em up on the PS2. Don't even. I say the original Soul Calibur is better than Soul Calibur 2. I say that just in terms of what it done compared to what the sequel done. The sequel was just a mere evolution, whereas the original was just full on holy fucking shit. You've never seen a fighting game like this before. It's incredible. And you had like the Power Stones. You had the Virtual Fighters. You had so fucking much on there. And now people are saying like there's a massive resurgence of fighting games. But let's be honest, there's still many of the big named series with a sprinkle of one or two. But over the time that we've had since the Dreamcast compared to now, it's night and day to me. Absolute night and day. It's just sad.
Yeah, it's the companies that have all the keys. They just, like I said, they don't want to make $5 million off of a game, or $10 million off. They want to make 500 million. They want to make 150 million off a game, and anything less than that is not worth their time to invest in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we don't have the diversity we used to have, and it's also our faults too. We didn't buy those games. We didn't buy those systems, so it's partially our fault as well.
A lot of those genres have become those smaller indie games now. I mean, we look to indies to get our futuristic races, to get our point and clicks, to get all these types of
3D platformer
adventure games. Even something like Baldur's Gate 3, right? Baldur's Gate, there used to be a fucking BioWare game. Baldur's Gate was one of the most influential RPGs, Western RPGs ever made. Absolutely huge. And the fact now that it's almost like a passion indie project, It's shocking. Why would we push away these games from all these different minds and different genres for what? What have we gained from it from these big companies? That's fucking
Yeah.
nothing. Absolutely nothing. And it's tragic. It really is tragic. But a lot of people don't see it.
And that's what I said. A lot of gamers today don't even know, don't even realize what we
They don't see it.
stuff that we used to get.
Yeah. They don't
Like
see
there was
it.
like 5 football games, NFL football games a year. Like 99 Sports. There was the Quarterback Club. There was Madden. There was obviously the 2K series, and there had to be another one out there. Oh, there was a Midway with their NFL Blitz. So there was all that different stuff for one sport. And we don't come close to that anymore.
Yeah, Sega would do their best to pump mods as well. You had the Virtual Striker series, Virtual Tennis, all these games.
Yeah,
there's Sega Worldwide Soccer Series games on the Saturn. So even though EA were there, Sega was still pumping out
EA
their
was
own
worried
sports
about Sega Sports because Sega Sports were really freaking good.
Yeah, they're really good fucking games. I played Worldwide Soccer on the Saturn, fucking loads, absolutely loads. And
That's great.
it's really good football games, man. Fucking.
I wish like Sega had the 2K, and then the Dreamcast failed, so then 2K started appearing on everything, and it just feels like I feel they peaked with wasn't the last. I think 2K1 was actually the best like playing one. 2K5 was the last one, and everyone felt it was good. Don't get me wrong, but they got rid of some of the cool mechanics. I liked being able to.
$20 game.
Yeah, it was $20. But in 2K1, you could use the left stick. So let's say you had a receiver set to the A button. He's crossing the field. So if you just hit A, he'd throw it to basically where he was or where he's about to be. If you hit to the left, the analog stick a little bit to the left, he'd throw it to the left of where the receiver was intending the ball. In case there was a defender standing there, and you just use the stick, maybe throw it to the right and throw it behind them intentionally. They do it in the real game. It's called options, like an option play, where if the defender's to the left, you throw the ball to the right. The defender's to the right, you throw the ball to the left. And you could do all this cool stuff. And then, of course, it made for a better game. And the competition was too good for EA to... So they
had to mark Madden down to $20 because of that, and they were like, "Oh hell no!" Like we just take the whole license from everybody. Year they had the full NFL license.
It's proven that EA aren't invincible, because even during the PS2 era, when FIFA was well established, so many people were rating Pro Evolution Soccer over FIFA back then. And Konami was huge with the Pro Evo series. Absolutely huge. Yeah, big time. And FIFA and EA had to knuckle down and make damn good FIFA games. And in order to stay up there, it's just that people then stopped. I mean, don't get me wrong, Konami slacked a bit as well with their development.
Yeah.
But it just showed that people also slacked with wanting to then try something else, because once they felt someone got so good, they were like, there can't be anything better. How can there be anything better? It's like the Call of Duty mentality. How can there be any better World War games than Call of Duty? Of course they fucking can. There's been fucking loads. It's just that people gave up on them because one game grabbed them, and then in their minds they were convinced that this series is the be all and end all, that no one else can do it better.
Yeah.
And I would love to see another company just come out there and do a Call of Duty with the budget that Call of Duty has, and I bet you that you see some good shit. You see some really fresh ideas, some good stuff, because they would have to, at the end of the day, they would have to try to make a difference, try and make it unique by itself in order to first of all get noticed and get into the market and get people off what they believe is perfection, which is fucking not, so.
But the thing is, though, once Call of Duty came out, if somebody tried to make something different, they're like, why does the B button make me jump? B should make me crouch. Like, because your muscle memory was so in tuned, and I agree. Like BioShock Infinite did different controls just to be different, and then they added an option to go to, I don't know what it called it like standard first person shooter controls, basically Call of Duty, and it instantly made the game playable for me because my muscle memory was fighting me the whole time. So it's got to be gameplay stuff, it's got to be different, but you can't, if you change the controls just for the sake of being different, then you're gonna actually cause more issues.
I remember doing a video a little bit on that, way back, and after we first played the new Doom, and I think I tied it to something like, why does it feel weird not to reload, in Doom and stuff. I linked it to just the amount of first person shooters where every single one of them got to have a reload button for whatever reason, because Call of Duty done it, because these games do it. Everyone has to have a reload button, but just before that, most of the games that we played, you didn't reload. You had your one clip. You didn't even have the one clip. You just had 500 bullets, and your gun would just keep on fucking going until you ran out of bullets. They were fun. They were fun games. Those were the Quakes, the Unreals, and stuff like that. And it doesn't mean that the mechanic was crap. But as soon as people got into their head that reloading is the way forwards, these ideas get kicked away. People forget about them and call them trash when they come back. But
I was so glad that
it takes something like Doom. It takes something like Doom to say, look, you don't have to reload, and it's still fun. And was like, fucking hell, this game's amazing.
Reloading's stupid anyway. You shoot 2 bullets and you hit reload, and you don't lose the bullets in your magazine. Like it's so stupid. But you get in that habit, in that Call of Duty habit. There was days where I would get home from work at 5:30ish, eat something quick, and I was playing Call of Duty from then till 2 in the morning. Like that, I was in that mode for about, I would say, 2 Call of Duties, from starting with Modern Warfare 2 to the end of Black Ops, when Modern Warfare 3 came out and was trash. Like I was in that 2, 4, 5, 6 hour days during the week, and then weekends, put 10 hours in. Like I was sucked in. And I agree, when I played Doom, I didn't miss the reload, but I still hit the X button quite often trying to reload.
So weird, isn't it?
All right, so Muhammad asked, will you guys discuss your 15 years of Game of the Year games? I'm guessing. That's random.
I think somebody did something on Twitter about that. Like,
I
didn't see that.
Bro, so every year, starting from 2000,
one game per year. Yeah.
From
that would be dope.
From 2003, I'd have to look and then try to remember what I.
But if that's the case, we might as well start at 2000.
Yeah.
Well, that would be 20 years almost. 19.
Oh, man, that'd be a good year. That'd be a good year.
Weren't even born then.
We could do that on a podcast.
That doesn't mean I don't have games.
We could do that on a podcast.
Even though it's probably single digits.
You weren't even born then.
I could do my 2013 through 2018 off the top of my head. I know which ones I actually awarded Games of the Year on.
But I
podcast.
think that could be awesome. It'd be long. It'd be long. But
it's hard because you have to find a good list of each game for the games that came out that year.
Oh, and also, to be fair, we did the top 20 Wii U games, so that'd be 2000 and 2019.
Top, yeah. So we'll do something like that.
2019 out of it and do up to 2018.
I say we do 2000.
Oh yeah. Not to 2019.
I say we do 2004 to 2018 each year. We'll.
Why not 2000, yo?
Right, because 15 is an even a good number.
Yeah, but you start from 2000.
Who cares?
Oh man, but we're missing out on Melee, yo.
You probably weren't even playing games in 2000.
The question was 15, my man.
What?
The guy, who asked that? Muhammad?
Mm-hmm.
That was 15. He said 15 years. So
yeah, but I'm sure he would agree with me if we did. And I added just an extra 3 years.
I mean, did you play Melee when it came out that year?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Then you can't skip it your Game of the Year.
Why not? That doesn't make sense. I still played it regardless.
Years later.
You weren't there.
So
what I'm saying is, You weren't there to experience the games of those years.
But God damn, I
So
enjoyed
it's
the
hard
game.
for you to go back and be like, oh yeah, I like that game a lot when I played it in 2012.
Yeah, but I don't see why that
Well,
would matter.
yours will start, Robert. You'll be able to start giving them in 2006 with the Wii
Nah,
came out.
yo, I'm starting at 2000.
Make your own video.
You're not picking. In your perspective, you're not picking GOTY. You're picking the favorite game out of the list of games that came. You know, that's different.
Yeah, I could.
Really good.
You know, there's probably some of those years back then where I maybe didn't have a game of the year like in my mind, but looking at a list, I could probably remember. Hey, that one of these years is probably going to be Call of Duty because that's all I played for a year. But
we might as well do from 1985.
Yeah. All right, so Goran J, shout out to Jay. What other platform type games could have success with a maker type in their perspective series, like i.e. Sonic Maker? Honestly, that's the only one that
Mega Man.
Yeah, I mean, would it have? You think could it have success? I mean, it might be a good idea. I don't know how well Mega Man.
There's a Mega, and I downloaded it, and I've played it a lot. It works surprisingly well. That shit is really addictive.
I don't think that was an official release, though.
No, it was unofficial.
Unofficial or?
Unofficial, yeah.
Okay.
But it still uses only like actual Mega Man assets, and it worked really well. Trust me, it's a really cool concept.
So I got
it.
Clocked it. Go ahead.
Sorry. And I actually, after playing Mario 3D World on the tropical level, on Mario Maker 2, I would love a Donkey Kong Maker, Donkey Kong Country Maker. And because of this, mostly because you could have minecart levels, you could use Donkey Kong Country 1 as well, so you have all the snow levels, the rain levels, the mine levels. You could have all the animals in there. The ostrich, can't remember his name, and Rambi, the rhino,
Damn, that's good.
The frog, and all this stuff. And then once you get to Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze, or even the other games, you'd have the barrels. You could have barrel type levels, being shot around everywhere, and just all these. Also, like Donkey Kong Country 1, you'd have the stop lines, the stoplights when the rock. Kremlins, is it? Sorry, my mind's gone blank. When they would like activate when the light is green and like stop when it's red and stuff like that. But I just feel like there'd be a lot of stuff that you could actually do with it, and then obviously with the underwater levels as well and all that stuff. I mean, Donkey Kong is
I might like that better than Mario Maker.
Yeah, that's a hell of an idea.
Yeah, I'd love it. Absolutely love it.
Because I think trying to do like Metroid would just be. Because that's such a like story-based like adventure, it'd be so hard. You can't just create like an individual level. So it'd have to be a game that has like, here's a level, go from this end to this end, or here's your objective. So like,
Metroid would be boring. No one would play that.
Yeah, like a Castlevania wouldn't work. It'd have to have just here's level 1-1, here's level 1-2. Those types of games like Rayman. Not that I don't think Rayman would be a success, but it probably would work.
It
would work a lot better than
work if you do it more in the older games where you just go from one screen to another. Like you don't necessarily need to do a whole castle. Castlevania could work.
Yeah, but that's more of a overall adventure game, like where. I mean, is it going to be fun to do just like a little short little level? I don't know.
Well, because for example, like what I would say is, especially after what they showed at E3, is like a top-down Zelda Maker. Well, you don't need to have a giant overworld, but you could still have the dungeon aspects, or even have like dungeon versions of outside. Like you have a limited grid or something like that. I think a top-down Zelda thing could work, especially considering at this point when you have like the original NES game, and you have Link's Awakening. You have the new Link's Awakening. You have A Link to the Past, and then Link Between Worlds. I think that is something that could definitely work on a larger scale.
Terrell, you got any platformers you'd like to see a maker?
Not really, if I had to be honest with you.
What's left?
No Shantae's, no.
I mean, Shantae's style though is pretty much like Metroid.
don't know lowly pinball maker.
No what?
Lowly
What?
pinball maker.
Pinball maker.
Yeah, it's not.
A Senran Kagura maker. Holy shit.
What is that? Take an anime girl, make her breasts huge, make her hips huge, and then put
And
her in a
throw
sexual
balls at
position. There you go. You made a game.
All right, so we're out of time for the podcast, so I'll save the couple questions. I'll get to those next week first. But like I said in the beginning, I'll definitely try to make the layout a little bit more geared towards the Juices Loose theme, and I switched my background to a Lara Croft image from my Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I think that fit better than my old background. But yeah, I think this is cool having the questions and having the some conversation going on in the Discord plus in the live chat. So good podcast. I think we'll skip final thoughts just because it's already been about 2 hours at this point, and you know how final thoughts go. Sometimes they last 20-25 minutes. So thanks to everybody for tuning in, contributing to the live chat and joining the Discord. And so next week we'll be back to do it all again, and I gotta find my stop stream button before I can end this because it's in a different spot now. So so thanks everybody, and we'll see you next week.